Now we're going to have to do some things in the interface builder to finish off this app, the My World app with the photo view. One of the things we need to do is to modify the window nib file for scrolling. Another is to connect the user interface object, the light info button, and the view in photo view to their appropriate methods. Now remember, you are, in a sense, combining two views into one for the purpose of horizontal scrolling. The two views being the following words in the main view and the following images in the photo view. And what we need to do is add a scrolling view, a UI scroll view, to the main window and connect that to the My World's app delegate and its scroll view method. So here we are where we last created the show info method in the photo view controller implementation file. And we're just about completed the photo view, but what we're going to do now is we're going to jump over to the main window.xib file. And what we need to do is add a scrolling view to this window. So first we go to the library over here, the objects, and we're going to search for a scroll view. Now we know it happens to be in the data views section, so we'll choose data views in the pop-up menu. And we'll go down and find, besides image view and text view and web view, there's our scroll view. It provides a mechanism to display content that is larger than the size of the app's window and enables users to scroll within that content by making swiping gestures. How useful is that? Very useful. Let's click Done here and choose the file's owner for main window. If we look at the identity inspector, we see that it's a UI application. This is what we want. This is the main window. Now what we want to do is simply drag this scroll view into the main window. And not only do guides appear, but the window grows to really snap into place to fill the entire black portion of the window, but not the status bar up here. And that's just what we want. If you wanted a smaller version of this, you could, of course, resize it, but this is what we want. The entire view to scroll. Of course, not the status bar. So now we have a scroll view. Let's open this up and see. Bingo. There's our scroll view. As you can see, we've opened the dock with this button down here, which we can close and open, so we can see more clearly what's in our nib file. So what's happened is that interface has automatically put the scroll view object underneath the window object where it should be. Now we want to connect the scroll view to the appropriate method. We want to select the My World app delegate in the nib file. Click the connections button up here for the connections inspector, or of course choose utilities connections inspector. And we can see that there's several things here, one of which is the scroll view method. Its outlet is here. We want to drag this and connect it to the scroll view. There. We've now connected the scroll view method in the My World app delegate to the scroll view. As a result, we've successfully implemented the photo view, at least from the delegate's point of view, and we've modified the window for horizontal scrolling between the main and photo views. Now, as you recall, when we built our photo view nib file here, we still have our button and our view, and we still need to connect them to their appropriate methods. We'll start with the view. To connect the view, we select View in the dock here. We go to the Connections Inspector, which is already open, but if not, you can click here for the Connections Inspector, or of course choose View, Utilities, Connections Inspector. And what we want to do is drag a new referencing outlet for the view, which we've selected. And here's the new referencing outlet here. We drag it to the file's owner. Let's double check that. The file's owner, as you can see in the identity inspector here, is Photo View Controller, which is what we want. So we select View, we go back to the Connections Inspector, we drag a new referencing outlet to that file's owner, and up pops the View method. That's the one we want, of course, and that connects our view to the Photo View Controller. Now we want to do something similar with the button. Now the button is an action, and the action sends an event. And the action we want is the touch up inside action here. So that when they tap it, it's only when they release the finger that it actually sends the event. It's just like the light info button on the main view. It does the same thing. It uses a touch up inside. So we take this touch up inside event and we attach that to the file's owner, and up pops our show info method. And this is the show info method that's in the photo view controller, not the one in the main view controller. This is the other show info method that we modified, that we literally copied and then modified from main view controller. So we select show info. So we've not only reused the objects from main view, we've also assigned them to very similar methods that came from main view controller. We use the objects of mainview.xib in photoview.xib, and we use the methods in main view controller right here in Photo View Controller, including a show info, as I mentioned before. This one, of course, is for the main view. It goes to the flip side view controller. But this one in Photo View Controller goes to the image picker controller. So we've now successfully implemented the photo view, and we've modified the window for horizontal scrolling between the main and photo views, and we've connected up the second photo view's view and light info button.